Hello folks, this is Audiotron 1003 and this is another special video for Thorn Gamma 6, who asked some time ago if I could make some videos regarding my internally illuminated street bollards. Well, I'm going to have a go, but to be honest, it's very difficult because most of them are kind of hardwired into the fabric of my bedroom. For example, one of the reasons why I usually cover my plugs with pillows in most of my videos is because people get the wrong idea and think I've got lots of live plugs. So before I explain about the bollards, all these plugs at the bottom, they're on dummy, unwired, 6-gang 4 plugs just to store the plugs, and these at the top, they have switches which switch them on and off according to when I need them. Now most of these coloured plugs at the bottom and such, they are all bollards, and all of the wiring goes down here. It goes all the way at the back into these two, under the carpet, and all the way around the back of all of these, and it goes all the way to the end there and under this lot. So it's almost impossible for me to make a video of every one of these, but since there's only basically 2 varieties, I only really need to cover very few of them. But that's the main reason why I've resisted trying to do videos. I may attempt to do this one, and I may attempt to do this one because they're easier to get to. This one here sits there. So first of all, I wanted to get that sorted out because I have limitations of what I can do in my room regarding this sort of thing, because everything is sort of packed in such a way that one thing relies on something else. And these bollards, for example, they're used as display shelves and tables. So that is why it's very difficult for me to make bollard related videos. So anyway, with that said, this one I can do. It's a very special one, and it's the smallest one I have. This is a Haldo development springback bollard, and it's internally illuminated. It's anchored at the bottom because I have every single base to all of these bollards, and basically they're all correct according to the shell that they're supposed to house. So the base is down there with its wiring, and this is a part you would see, and there's the Haldo development label, and this is the 610L aspect on the front. I think it's L. Let's see. No, it's keep right. Sorry, it's 610R. Sorry. Sometimes with these, if I turn the camera back this way and I turn this round, sometimes they may have something printed on the back, or they may be like this, completely blank, in which case all you would see is this. And since I'm here, that's the labeling, but for some reason when I was cleaning this I wiped off some of the ink, but it's Bury St Edmunds, and that's the labeling that went with it. This is where the special screw would have gone, but I took that off, took that out so that I could periodically take this top off if I wanted to change the lamps. So this is what it is. So what I'll do now is I'll pause the video and I will take the shell off and show you how the thing is internally illuminated. Okay, time for the tour. And this is a twin circuit because there's 2 setups. So what we basically have here is we have the chokes at the top, and these two, see if I can get the light to shine on it in such a way that you can see it. those are where the fuses are. So if you undo those, that's the fuses for the two circuits. So this is the choke. I'm hoping my tablet can focus. There we go. So that's the choke. Sorry, it's kind of upside down. We have the wiring going to the 13 watt fluorescent tube, and that goes all the way down. That black thing there is just a pad to stop the lamp from scraping against the aluminium casting. So it continues down all the way to what I assume at the bottom here is some kind of capacitor, but this is the starter just there, and there'll be two of them. So if I move round, you'll see there's another starter there, and then the other tube on the other side going back up to the top. So that is basically as simple as it gets. Now normally what would happen is in the wild, or in the street as it were, these wouldn't be connected to a 13 amp plug, or in this case a 3 amp plug, because it only needs about 3 amps. It would be connected to one of those old style sort of industrial plugs and connected to the street mains, and if this thing was disconnected in an accident, it would unplug, switching off the whole system. But in this case, that's not going to happen. So what I'll do next is I'll pause the video, lay this on its side, and then show you how this thing works in practice. Okay folks, this is what you normally never see in reality, but this is the underside of one of these things. Now all this is usually buried, but you can see some rather dusty springs. There's two there, and if I move this round, there's another two there, and at the bottom, if I can get my finger, there's two more there. So there's three, and I suspect they're spaced out in 120-degree angles. And this this grey cable here, that goes all the way into there, which it then connects to the circuitry. So that's how it gets its power. I'm not really sure what the piece of plywood's for. It probably has a reason, but in my case I can't see what it is. And then we have the base here, and the idea is that if the bollard shell with all its workings inside is knocked in any direction, those very tightly sprung springs, they will make sure that the bollard springs back into its correct position, regardless of which angle a car or other vehicle hits it. Now, generally speaking, that usually happens, but I have seen them on occasion where maybe the springs have worn and they tend to lean in a specific angle, probably the angle where they've been hit the most, because the springs themselves have lost some of their tension. So this is the underside of the bollard, and all this casting that would normally be set in the ground in the middle of the road in a either on an island or a traffic a traffic refuge for pedestrians. There's not many of these around, but there is one in Leicester near the Leicester bus station. As you enter the bus station on the main road, it's been there for years. So if you live anywhere near Leicester, have a look round the Leicester bus station, and you should find one of these bollards. There are several of them in existence, and they have different marks depending on which version it is. And I've forgotten which one this is, but I think it's one of the earlier ones. I bought this round about the year 2000, something like that, because most of these bollards that I bought, were bought in 1995 to round about year 2000, with a few exceptions. So this is the bollard as it is. So the last two things I'll do is show you the lighting switched on, and then with the cover back on, so you can see what it looks like. So this is the bollard as it is, with all of its lighting on. I've switched all of the main lights off in the room, so the only light that you see is either natural daylight or what this thing is creating itself. You can see in the background my TV needs a bit of a clean, but anyway, so that's the 26 watts worth of lighting, and if I move round you can get a different angle. So this is the bollard in the raw, if you like. Okay, in the background there's some stuff connected with my street light, so that's what that big box in the background is, and a collection of arrows. Anyway, so that's that. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video once more, put the shell on, and then you can see what it looks like as it should be. Okay, so now we've covered it with the shell, and this is what it looks like. That dark band you see just there, that is in fact a reflective strip. So if this was to lose its lighting, for example, let's say a starter has gone, a lamp's burned out, and this was in the dark, approaching traffic would still be able to see it because of the reflective strip. And here we go as I go down, so you can see the hexagonal labeling and then the base. And as I get close, you can start to see some kind of cycling taking place as the fluorescent lamps react with my digital photography, or in this case digital filming. So this is the Haldo Dev springback bollard. So if I turn it round this way, so there it is. It's a little unusual to see one sitting on someone's bed, but then again, any of my regular viewers will realize that this is no ordinary bedroom. So so basically, Thorn Gamma 6, this is for you. You asked me to make some videos. I'm finally getting round to attempting to do maybe 2 or 3 of them. Maybe next time I might focus on my traffic light. Until then, thank you for watching. Bye.